Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to Marrio Esco Live, where we like to interview people who are actively serving the community, share testimonies, music videos, exclusive updates and announcements. And really, we just want to utilize the platform to encourage, edify, challenge if necessary as we go over various topics and subjects. We're not perfect and we don't have all the answers, but we're firm believers in iron sharpening iron, and we really just want to build and edify together. So with that said, I hope you're blessed and enjoy the show. Grace and peace. Yo, what up, everybody? It's Marrio Esco, your host. Alongside me is my brother and co-host, Gil Vargas.
What up?
What's going on? Brian already hopped in. What up, Brian? What's going on, brother?
Mr. Atawinga?
How you doing, sir? I see you doing the conferences and stuff like that, man. How's it going, brother?
Hopefully everything's going good out there in North Carolina.
Is that where he's at?
Yeah.
I think he was at a conference, though. He was doing something.
Yo, Brian,
What's up,
man, hopefully everything
in?
was good in regards to the storm that hit you guys too, man. That must have been crazy.
Alejandro Rosa.
He's officially on the live, not podcast. He upgraded.
What up, brother? How you doing, man? How's everybody doing? Everybody's jumping in. Listen, we got some announcements to make. We have some changes that we're making as well as we go along. This is episode 11, I believe.
Yep.
Is it? I think we're counting now. We counting or?
I believe so. Hey, man, do you guys want us to count? Because
yeah,
we counting. Does it really matter?
What
to
up,
you
Alex?
guys?
Yeah, so we're on episode 11 right now. I think I can verify that. I know it's around there, but anyway,
Just about.
episode 11, and already changes are being made. What up, Ryan? Ryan's in the building, and some things are happening. Some things I'm happening
Things are
that
definitely
I'm like
happening.
really psyched about, man.
What's up, Ryan?
Let me tell you real quick. First of all, for those that have been following, you already know why this all started. But for those that haven't been following, I'll tell you real quick. And it's kind of funny. So for those that know me, know that I gotta keep moving. I love to create. I didn't realize I was a content creator. I thought I was just a rapper with a beat machine. And it wasn't until recently where I realized I love to just create stuff. Because if you've been following me, I do acting, script writing, mix and master, all that kind of stuff, songwriting. I love to just create content. Never thought about doing a podcast or some kind of live show. Never.
We've never had that conversation.
Never thought about it. Here I am doing skits, getting guys together, directing these little short skits and wanting to, I wrote a short film.
Yeah.
I wrote a script to a short film.
Which is fire.
We actually went through the process of filming it.
Yeah.
And then I called it quits for other reasons. But things just, music it started bubbling up, man, I can't do all the things at the same time. You know what I mean? So I had to take a step away from that, and I started doing other things.
Not to mention 3 kids, wife,
and now peep game,
husband, full-time job.
It happens to be Dan Rosario. Shout out to Dan Rosario. He is the founder of 256 Media Film, and he's the one who introduced me to film. I was helping him move a set. And one of their props, one of their walls came crushing down, smashed on my toe, broke my toe, my right foot, big toe.
It's crazy.
And it took me out of everything.
He still feels bad.
It put a halt on everything. And I was sitting there, twiddling my thumbs like, okay, what am I going to do?
Get to work.
And I was like, you know what? I could talk in the mic. I may not be able to walk around and do all these other things, but I could talk in the mic. And that's what started the show. Long story short. And now we got Marrio Esco Live, and we're just chopping it up about, certain things. We're still trying to figure it out, actually. We're going to talk about some changes. Anyway, episode 11, here we are, and we got some great news.
Super duper great news.
Broke my toe, started doing this show.
It's amazing. You know what? Before you get to that,
Go ahead.
I think it's amazing how you can sit back and watch how God works. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would have thought that it took you to break your toe?
I know.
For this to come to us chilling, having this banter back and forth, building a community with you guys to now the news that we're about to break. But before we get to that, it's just like,
you know what we need? We need the sound effects.
Yo, anybody, for real, we need some
the hand claps.
We need some like gunshots or something.
Oh, whoa. Well, we're reformed, so I guess
we reformed, man. We got
throw some gunshots in there.
No, but seriously, like anybody out there who's a creative or entrepreneur, or you're at a dead end job where you hating it, never doubt the things that God can do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, never doubt the doors that God can open and how he opens them.
Right.
Because I would have never thought that doors would open from your broken toe. Because if I would have known that, I would have broke your toe a long time ago. Like, I would have been like, yo, man, something needs to happen.
Boom. Break his toe. Don't get no ideas.
I'm just saying.
Man's gonna start breaking my arm.
Like, yo, I broke my arm, yo. We got the bag.
Break his back.
We was like, yo, I was hospitalized and somehow we fully funded.
Okay.
No, but seriously,
so the news.
That's crazy.
The news. So,
I hope you guys are not too attached to this.
we got, if you guys follow my post, I did a little like sneak peek kind of thing, and I showed a picture. I wish I was ready to. I ran into some things today I couldn't prep properly, but I got a picture of the actual location. So I was teasing that we might be, getting a spot officially to house the live show, and like actually build like a dope set. Right.
I mean, later on, you guys can go to his page and check it out.
Yeah, you can check that out. So I sat with the property manager. And anyway, long story short, prayed about it before I went in, sat with him, discussed a few things.
Like this dude, just so y'all know too, a little behind the scenes, he went in super prepared. Like he had
the whole
diagrams. He had almost pretty much like a page less than a business proposal. Like it was legit. Like he shared it with me. He was like, "Yo, Gil, what do you think?" And I was just like, "Whoa, buddy! Like we only asking for a space.
Right?
Like, it's not a bank loan."
Anyway, long story short, I ended up leaving with the keys officially to our brand new spot.
So you guys,
so we officially got a set, a room that we're gonna, and it's just a big empty room that we're gonna dress up, and we're going on to the
right here would be the round of applause.
Yeah, round of applause, man. Round of applause for those of you that are rocking with us, that are enjoying the ride, man. I mean, it really is just us desiring, to give valuable content, but also a place to dialogue and talk about things that we want to talk about, like that we would like to see people talking about, just open discussions.
Yeah.
Well,
I just can't stand how, you know what I mean, especially in the Christian culture, there's no, at least for me, in my perspective, and you guys can chime in and tell me what y'all think in regards to like your interactions with Christians. But when I ask a Christian, like, yo, how you doing? It's always, I'm good. There's no truth, like there's no dialogue, like, man, I've been struggling with this. Like, we're brothers and sisters. Let's be real. We're brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And if I'm supposed to pray for you, how am I supposed to pray for you if I don't know what's going on?
You know what? In my church, what we do is, and it's a good thing. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of people who study probably heard of this before, are familiar with this concept. But what my pastor says sometimes is when somebody comes up to you and asks you, how was your day? You respond in the godly way. You say, better than I deserve.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And even that is a little
motive. The motive behind it is a very godly motive. It's basically saying, like,
I say that sometimes.
Because it's a fact, right? Ultimately, it's a fact. We're living better than we deserve because we're forgiven, right? In Christ, we're forgiven. So it's the natural kind of response for somebody who's actually, digs into Scripture and studies the Scripture and knows, man, everything is joy. You know what I mean? Like you find joy.
But even in then, it's not really speaking on facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, that is a factual statement. That is a factual thing. But it's not.
But we got to be able to confide in one another and open up and be real.
You know what I mean? Like right now, for just a quick example, I just posted on Facebook. Those who follow me know was good, but those who don't, I posted that my daughter, she had a heart.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry.
Oh, Dwayne, yeah.
Yo, Dwayne said you gotta put up a bar poster in that new spot.
Yo, I promise you we'll do that with some hats and shirts. Yo, I wear a hat every week.
Shout out to the bar.
I want to be able to look on the screen and be like, thanks, Bar Podcast.
Thanks, Bar Podcast. Oh, word.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to look at the screen and be like, thanks, Bar Podcast. I am now smarter somehow.
I could add effects and stuff. I know how to do some of this stuff. Everything bright. Everything is bright and sparkly. Thanks, Bar Podcast. Oh, no, for real, though. Look, he's cracking up. For real, though, shout out to the bar.
Yo,
I love them.
You guys are dope.
Yo, they're real people, man. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, for the show, like, just be real. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna fake the funk. I'm not gonna be pretend like I know, like I'm as knowledgeable as my pastor.
Yeah,
I desire to be. You know, I'm not trying to knock, studying and stuff like that. But I'm trying to be who I am. I want authenticity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
this is for me. Like, this is how I feel. Like, you and I's friendship has built because we speak the truth to each other. How many times have you like sat me down and corrected me on some simple things, but man to man, you're like, yo, bro, like, I didn't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Or, yo, man, I'm going through this right now. Yo, I really appreciate that prayer. Yeah. Like, that's what builds bonds. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the scripture talks about forsaking fellowship, that's what it's talking about. It's not talking about just chilling. Because I could chill anytime with anybody and just be in the same room with someone, but that's not really fellowship.
No, you're right.
Forsaking the fellowship is saying bonding, like having that close relationship with someone where I can know, I know what my brother's going through.
Right.
Why I know it? Because I pray about it. Why do I know it? Because he confides in me. He tells me these things, and I confess my stuff to him. And that's how we're able to have this bond together. And I tell people all the time, like, people look, ask me, like, I don't understand how you and Marrio are so close. And that's literally what I tell them. I'm like, yo, the reason why we're close is because we real with each other. Yeah. Even when I don't want to hear it. Even when I'm like, nah, man, like, I don't want to be corrected right now. Yeah. But you my brother, and that you my brother's keeper, so you're going to tell me when I'm wrong.
And then also the other side of that, too, is when you offend one another, like, you get stronger in your relationship when you have those moments where you don't see eye to eye.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, remember the time when I threw a chuleta at your face?
Yeah.
Do you remember that time?
We gotta talk about that now.
No, it's a real story.
How you get thrown a chuleta on your face? For what reason?
Do you remember that time?
Yes, I can never forget when somebody throws a piece of meat at my face.
You were really offended.
I was offended, but I also said something offensive as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
I will just say this.
I don't remember what happened. All I know is
I remember it because it happened to me. So of course I'm gonna remember it. So we're talking, right? We're just sitting at the table, we're just chilling, and I don't remember how
we breaking bread.
I don't remember how your aunt came up, but your aunt came up for some reason, and I was just like, oh man, your aunt is gorgeous. And right there, this dude just took the chuleta and just threw it in my face, bro. And I'm like, what the heck? He's like, yo, you talking about my aunt, bro? That's my aunt. Sauce. And I was being mad disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold up. You gotta clarify, bro. This is
what do you mean?
This is before we were Christian.
Oh yeah.
My fault, we were younger. This is years ago. It's just one of those stories that happened.
Yo, I was just I my compliment was just a little over. Just she's a beautiful woman.
You were disrespectful, man.
It was disrespectful in context. I didn't say nothing like I'm trying to do something with her, but it was just the way the compliment came out. It wasn't right, and I realized it afterwards.
And then you got a chuleta.
And then I got a chuleta in my face. But I was tight. I'm not gonna lie. Man. Getting hit with a chuleta, and just y'all don't know, chuleta is
don't get confused.
It's Spanish for pork chop. This dude took a piece of pork chop and slapped me with it.
No,
he like just hit me with it. It didn't
slap
me.
Cool. The point of the story is what? All right, let me see.
The point of the story is watch your mouth.
No, that's not the point of the story. No. So what we're saying is, so when you have a little bit of those conflicts, when you have, because you're not going to see eye to eye. You know what I'm saying?
There's always going to be moments.
Who was it? Was it Paul? It was some pastor. Some pastor was talking about how people were asking him, like, how did you get so spiritual? How did you get so mature in the faith? And they wanted like this long list of all these things that he did, like things to do, like, check this off, check this off.
We always want a checklist,
right?
For some reason, like if we get the checklist done, then we good.
Right. And he was just talking about how for him it was like shocking to him that people wanted to know all these things, and he was like, I just live a normal life like anybody else. I'm a sinner in the household. You know, like I'm not. They expect this long list of things to do, and he's like, I'm just normal. Like we don't read as a family every single day. We don't. You know, he doesn't. He fails. He's showing them like exactly. So what was the point of that? Because I totally...
So the point is that as brothers and sisters, don't be afraid to open up and share. Like, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to build. Like that is the point. Is we're trying to build a community of brothers and sisters that is not based on fakeness.
Right. So like I don't know if you guys jumped into Gil's live before we jumped into this.
Did he pick it back up and eat it? I did. I don't even remember if he did that.
But
I probably did.
But that's Dwayne, by the way. The bar. Shout out to the bar. Love you,
Dwayne. You hilarious, bro.
So what was I saying? We lost it, Dwayne. We were
talking about the brotherhood, like just being real with each other, and that's what. That's how we are.
Devontae in the building. What
Devontae.
up, Dub it. Oh, yo, Devontae was actually brother. That song, by the way, is in the works of almost being completed right now.
For real.
That project is almost completed right now.
Now I get dub it.
Yeah.
My bad. I was a little late on that one.
And don't worry, we haven't forgotten you for the credit for that. Devontae jumped into one of our lives previously, and he was helping us with the
I remember.
process of
Yo,
recording
Devontae, you've missed it because you just hopped on. But yo, we just upgraded, bro. We are no longer in this spot. We were blessed. God is moving things, and we got blessed with a spot.
Got a location
we
for our set.
Out of here. We about to go into an official
man.
spot.
I'm pumped.
You guys can check it out. Man. Go to Marrio Esco's page, and we got a little picture, a little snippet of where we're gonna be, yo. So Devontae, stay with us.
Yeah.
Everybody else, Alejandro, Dwayne, especially Dwayne. I mean, podcast. You know, we gonna be working together for sure. Everybody on here, Jim Burke. Jim Burke is my homie from work. Employee from work, man.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he's one of the drivers at my job. He's really good dude, man. I love that dude. I love you, Jim. You the man. But Brian's been with us forever.
Brian, yeah, man.
He's been with us since the get.
I remember the first time I met him when we were out in Fall River for the outreach event that they had with I think it was Timothy Brindle was there.
Yeah,
and that's
Timothy Brindle was when we first met him. That's a dope way to meet him too.
Yeah, Timothy Brindle. I forgot who else was there, but that's where I met Brent actually. So shout out to Grace and Glory, my brother Brent,
for real,
another listener. Appreciate all the feedback, man, that everyone's been given for the show and everything like that. I'm loving it, man. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about planning it. I'm excited about setting it all up. I want to make it look dope, and I'm excited about it. Y'all can rock with us. But for today, brother, what's on the dock for today?
So let's go over.
Oh, actually, let's go through the changes. So the changes. So I guess the show is like updating changes. Then
he gonna ask me what's on the dock. Just straight up take over.
Maybe. Right? Maybe.
Yeah, that's the maybe part. Right there.
Maybe.
That's the maybe.
Upgrade and changes. So when we officially started, we were interviewing people.
For real.
Which a few of you guys loved the interviews because people were able. It was dope. People were able to share their testimonies. We had some really cool testimonies. People coming in.
And everybody was completely different.
Everybody's story was completely different. People serving the community. It was definitely a blessing to have them with us. So we didn't make the changes because of that.
Yeah.
But we started thinking about how can we engage more. You know, it's not that we didn't want to interview people. It's just that we didn't want to just to be one side story that you guys hear. Yeah. What we desire is dialogue, conversation, going back and forth.
Ultimately, the dialogue, even the purpose of the dialogue is that we want to affect culture. Like we want to impact the culture. Yeah. We want to make changes. We want to improve it. We want to be part of that and change and part of that improvement. It's not like we're the improvement. Like we're going to make this happen and we're going to change everything.
Yeah, Devontae.
Not saying that.
Spot. Go ahead.
But we want to be part of affecting the culture of hip hop, the CHH, Christian dialoguing, like all of that. We want to incorporate it, and we just want you guys to be with us in
part of it,
and help us. Help us ultimately affect the changes and positive things that we want to do for CHH and for everything else.
Yeah, facts. That's the desire with the show.
Because it's not solely going to be about music.
So what we started doing was I create like the artwork for it like a week in advance, and then I drop the artwork on social media.
We evolving.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to figure it out,
We evolving.
But we had topics. But then we did one show with the topic. 2 shows actually, Tickling Ears and Ear Candy versus Ear Candy. Then there was another one, I think it was the last one we did, Satan and his servants of righteousness.
That one was crazy.
So we were thinking like, all right, let's do these topics, and what we noticed is that whenever we went off on tangents, and it was good discussions, like it was really good discussions.
It was not near the topic. We always went back to the topic to make sure we covered it, but we would always be like,
what we noticed is that there was a fight in us, like, oh, you're going too far off. You gotta switch it
we
up
felt boxed in.
We felt a little boxed in. So what we're gonna do now is pretty much like talk about the things that we're currently going through or that we're currently seeing within the culture on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
One of the things we talked about was what verse you're going through in your church, and then discuss those things and how does that apply for your life? Like, how are you seeing that take place in your life for this week and stuff like that. And then we were going to talk about like trending type topics and anything related to creatives and anything related to Christian creatives specifically, just talking about how to navigate through the culture and through the industry as a Christian creative all around.
Facts.
And so we just
like that better because then it doesn't box us in, and we can have topics that are personal to us.
Right.
Things that have touched us personally, and we can be like, you know what, I want to talk about this.
Right.
But having a topic, it's like, all right, no matter what we went through and touched us or, affected us, we kind of have to push that to the side and talk about this thing.
Right.
So I love this. I love that we could just be like, whatever.
I love it too. And then we open up the dialogue with you guys that are jumping in live, like Devontae just said right now. Where can we support my brother?
See, man, Devontae, people like you is why we do this, and not because you want to support, is because you want to affect change, man. You want to be with us, and you want to help us out because you know that we're trying to change things for the better, and I love you for that, Devontae. So for right now, we don't have anything official, but you could definitely go to marrioesco.com. And he does have like a donate tab, I believe.
No, I just subscribe to the email. Just keep following, brother. We're working on some stuff right now. Keep us in prayer, or you can hit me up private after this. We try to be as accessible as possible. Just hit me up, brother.
Yeah, we can chat.
But we are working on projects too behind the scenes, and one of them is the one that you happen to jump on and get credit as.
Yo, we should put him on as like an executive producer.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I told him when he was there. So we ended up dubbing it, by the way.
Pin that link.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Go ahead.
I put it on right here. Marrio Esco.
That's what's up. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. If you go there, just go there, man, and you'll see it there. I'll pin it right now. I'll pin that link. Boom. So it's pinned to the top, Marrio Esco. Just go there. Subscribe. That's the main thing. Just subscribe to the email list. Dub it.
And just because, I want a little support too.
Oh wait, what you do?
I put my website on there too.
No, don't go there.
Hey man, nothing wrong with that.
Don't go to Gil's website.
Don't go to my website. I got a little bit of music on there. You know what I mean?
Don't go there.
Let you guys. I'm working on some new stuff too. You know what I mean?
It's the Marrio Esco Live with Gil Vargas.
With Gil Vargas
on the back. You gotta turn.
Mario's foul,
go around.
Mario's foul.
Turn it around. You can see it stamped on the back. There it is in the corner.
And
right there.
Somehow my name is spelled like gibberish. It's like backwards, so you can't really. You got to decipher it. Like, yo, if I decipher this with code, it says Gil Vargas.
All right, Gil. So what are you going through in your church right now?
Yeah, man.
Talk about that. No, don't look at your notes. Talk off the top of your head.
Well, I gotta
don't
remember.
Look, no.
Man, my memory is
You're
shot.
supposed to be having that right off the top of your head.
1 Peter.
Oh.
Hey man, I gotta write this stuff down because He's
faking the funk.
Hey, I'm not faking no funk. I just gotta articulate my thoughts.
You're supposed to know your verses throughout the week,
dude.
Ain't that right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Anybody in here? Am I wrong? You're supposed to know the verses off the top of your head.
Stop it, man.
Come on, man. All right.
So yeah, first.
All right. Without looking, look away from it and tell me what it's about.
2:1-11.
Go ahead.
So like he basically highlights God's sovereignty and how God chooses his people. You know what I mean? And for me, how I took that, it made me really remember and go back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we live our lives, we go to work, you know, we come home, you know what I'm saying? We spend some time with our kid or kids in your case, and then we go to bed, you know, and we kind of just forget that God chose us. It's something as simple as that, but as is a powerful thing. You know what I mean? Like, God don't have to choose anybody. You know, rightfully so, we all deserve the wrath of God. So the fact that he specifically chose me, and we kind of sometimes take that for granted, you know, and we kind of just go our day and we live our lives without actually meditating on that, you know? So then from
like how you have to look at your notes.
Yeah. I didn't look at my notes right now. I'm saying I have to remember the scripture.
Like how you got to look at your notes. Yeah, you better remember. So how are you going to apply that? You're going to start memorizing?
Yeah. I mean, it made
you were studying the week before?
It made me think of everything, like memorizing scripture, you know what I mean? Reading more to my family and reading to my wife, you know, and having more dialogue about scripture.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me really think about, what am I doing with this gift of salvation?
Right.
Am I really being an asset? You know, am I really putting this to work?
Yeah.
In every aspect of my life, not just music, but in my wife's life, in my child's life, in
your
those
life.
who interact with me.
How about your life?
My life, most importantly. But ultimately, like, just reading that scripture, it humbled me. Ultimately, you know. And even though the pastor, you know, had his notes and he dope sermon,
I didn't realize you had your ears pierced.
Yeah. You know that?
No.
Yeah, man. Marrio says that because
both sides?
Yeah.
Both sides. Oh, man.
Marrio says that because I grew up really sheltered. So he's like, oh, my God, you got your ears pierced? Yeah, man. I heard from my mom.
Gil getting church discipline. Looking for his notes.
Yo, I hope my pastor or his wife is watching. Or is not watching right now.
Yeah. I hope they're not watching right now.
They're going to be like, that dude be sleeping in church. He be trying to act like he's paying attention.
Yo, did you see the video? Somebody shared on Facebook of the dude, and it had his face. It looked like he was sitting there, like, stood up straight, like, listening. And then as the camera moved, it ended up being a picture painted on, like, a bag.
What?
And they were passing the Lord's Supper. They were passing the bread. And when it got to him, like, he knocked, his bag fell over, knocked everything off. You didn't see that one?
No, dang, I gotta watch
That's
that.
good right there.
What? Yeah, that was me.
He got the glasses with the eyes open.
He's knocked
out.
I think we all have nodded.
Sheltered is the word, Alex said. Sheltered.
Yeah, I definitely wish. Alex, out of everybody, knows, man. He knows the shelteredness that I had in my life.
Yo, Devontae, you have no idea, man. These dudes were in that special group. Alex and this dude were in that special group. We had to stay in class. We had to stay in class, and they always got pulled out of class. You guys are always, every single time, pulled out of class. We were always hating, like, why is Gil getting pulled out of class? Where's he going?
Oh, you talking about high school?
I don't know why that character. We gotta get that character a name too.
Yeah, Mario. Every time Mario asks mimic someone, it's always a nerdy dude. I don't know why, but it's always a nerdy dude.
Because that's how you sound.
I was never a nerdy person ever.
That's how you sound, man.
Ever.
Anyway, yo, we're losing topic. So your verse.
No. So my what?
Your verse.
Yeah, so that's what I got from it. Like, I need to step up my game in my household. I need to step up, you know, in my own personal life, because, you know, the fact that God has chosen us, we shouldn't be taking that lightly. You know what I mean? We could have easily been one of those that are destined for wrath. You know what I'm saying? Destined for that cup of fire.
Yeah.
You know, and to be chosen, we should be honoring that and treasuring that and sharing that.
That's so funny, man. Because at your church, it sounds like election.
Yeah. Well, sovereignty and election is basically that.
Well, they go hand in hand. I mean,
yeah.
And at my church, we're talking about perseverance.
Damn, we almost got Tulip right in there.
Shout out to Tulip.
Shout out to Tulip, the album. You guys can't see it, but the posters right there.
But at my church, we're going through Philippians. And actually, I got the verse right here, 1:6. And I am sure of this.
Oh, you're supposed to have it memorized.
And I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to full completion.
Oh, you so rehearsed that?
Philippians 1:6.
Oh, stop. You rehearsed the heck out of that.
Excuse me. This is about the perseverance of the saints.
Yo, this dude is trying to play me.
All right.
He rehearsed
everybody saw that, right? This is live.
Oh, whatever, man.
Putting this on YouTube.
So rehearsed that.
I got my clip for Instagram.
Oh.
How I aced that test and this dude slam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your memorization is that exactly. Instant.
Y'all saw it live. Y'all saw it for yourself, man.
Instant
you see
coffee.
That?
You know how instant
rehearsed.
coffee is the worst.
Alex said rehearsed.
Hell yeah, that was rehearsed. Thank you.
It was scripted.
Thank you, Alex.
There was no rehearsal there, man. That's off the top of my dome, bro.
Oh, man.
Like back in the day when I used to spit right out the top of the dome. You know what I'm saying? I can keep going.
Why are you using your shoulders?
You know what I'm saying?
Your shoulders ain't got nothing to do with it. We ain't even playing music.
Listen. So he will complete the work that he started in you, which opposes what thought? Let's get controversial real quick.
That we can't lose our salvation.
Bongo. Hey, yo, Alex.
If he completes it.
Alex, let's talk about this. You believe that if you're saved, once saved, always saved?
That's a good question.
Once saved, always saved, or saved and then, you know what? I'm bored. I'm out. Peace. But I was actually saved.
Once saved, always saved, Devontae says. That's a very good question.
Alex, what do you think?
I mean, this is something that I've actually talked about with my mom with. You know what I'm saying? Several times, and other people. But the reason why I say my mom is because actually recently she actually posted something on this. And what she posted was she said the reason, you know, it was general, so it wasn't really towards a person.
Alex said, I believe that we won't know until we die. Well, that's a fact. Well, you have assurance as a believer, though.
Yeah.
So I guess it is a fact to a certain extent that you won't know till you die, for sure. Yeah. But then there's also assurance for the saint. The saint can have full assurance in his salvation even until his death.
Yeah.
Knowing, all right, I'm going to go see the Lord now. See you later.
Peace.
Selah.
Selah. Pause.
For that moment.
Pause.
We need to pause for that
that's
moment.
That's going to be ours. Selah. That's going to be our pause.
Man, because you know, for a moment you were like, yeah, that's dope.
It is dope. I was like, yeah. I feel that. Right? I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's actually a fact. Selah.
Yeah, then you know it. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. So he says, okay, so what do you think, Gil?
What I think about what? Like in regards to that specific
once saved,
scripture?
always saved.
Yeah. I mean,
as far as the doctrine. Yeah. Okay, Alex, I get what you're saying. Let me say something real quick. I get what you're saying, Alex. So you're saying we won't know until we die. That's a fact in a sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is once saved, actually saved. This is what I'm talking about. Once saved, actually saved. Right?
Yes.
Actually a real Christian. Real truth in his heart. Mm-hmm. Truth in his soul.
Facts.
And then he says, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. When I say once saved, always saved, I'm saying you saved. And is he always saved, or can that dude say, I'm out?
No, a person can't. No different than a child deciding that their mother and father is no longer their mother and father. Like, you can't just decide that. Like, you have this unchanging, this powerful love for your parents that no matter what you think or what emotion you go through, that's mom and dad. That's mom and dad, regardless. Perfect example. When I disciplined my daughter, she immediately after I disciplined her wants me to love her. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't run from me.
Yeah.
Like a natural person, like this, hurt, I'm running the opposite direction.
Whoops.
She runs towards me. And to me, even when I'm disciplining my daughter, like I see God's sovereignty in a way in that thing, because when God disciplines me or when I'm going through a trial and it hurts, I want to run to my father. You know what I mean? I want him to acknowledge me. Like I need him to love me, you know? So the way I relate that is that how can a person that truly, and I'm talking about truly has their heart changed and they have this unabiding love like my daughter has for me and I have for God, they really have that heart change. How can they just up and just be like, you know what, man? I no longer acknowledge this God as my God.
I'm going to jump in.
I'm just going to bounce
I'm going to refute that. Because as your child grows, there could be a point where she's like, yo, I'm out of here.
Well, I'm reformed, so they never win my kid.
I'm saying, though.
They were never my kid.
I have to come back because I know people going to, this is unbiased.
Yeah, that's true.
We chop it up, right? So then, there you go. There could be a point where your daughter's going to be like, yo, God forbid, you know. But there could be a point where the little one might be like, yo, I'm out of here. That could happen.
But
so that example is like kind of weak.
Not really. Because when a kid leaves, it's usually because they're growing up, but it has nothing to do with their relationship with me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I left my mom's house.
Alex says, I believe that you must make continuing efforts in your salvation.
Facts.
And I think what you're thinking about is the verse that says, work out your salvation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like one save, always save, free ride. Like you could just chill.
Now you could just go do what you want to do. It kind of goes hand in hand. However, salvation comes through the work of another.
Yeah, faith without works is
dead. Yet the faith needs to go through the work of another.
Exactly.
Right?
Facts. Which is Christ on the cross.
They're almost sound the same, but they're actually two different things. Because you don't work out your salvation to say like, you don't. This is what I did, God.
You don't earn
Look
salvation.
What I did. Boom, 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 boom. Here's my list of things that I did. I earned my way into the gates of heaven. Thank you. Right?
Yeah, that's something that you cannot do. Yeah, you cannot earn your salvation. There is no checklist for salvation. You can't.
Thank God.
Yeah,
because
that checklist is impossible.
Oh my goodness, you know. He said, "Yeah, faith without works is dead. You obey because you're saved. You don't obey to get saved." Boom, Devontae hit it on the head. There you go.
Dope.
You obey because you're saved. You don't obey to get saved.
Facts.
And you can't outwork the salvation that you already had, that you already have in Christ, because the work has already been completed in full.
Yes.
So in other words, you can't reach a point where you're like, I'm good. Like this is good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm content with where I'm at. I'm content with what I've done.
It's forever sanctification and growth.
Yeah, no, it's continuous. You're always seeking sanctification. You're always constantly, wanting to be closer to God and be deeper in your understanding. Like that never ends. But that's also part of what I'm saying is that if God truly has changed your heart, you will continuously desire that. Right.
That's what Devontae was getting at. DeAndre says, what about the 10 Commandments? Are those the checklist?
Yo, DeAndre, you literally hit it perfectly.
Right. I want to hear you.
Yeah. The 10 Commandments is the requirement, but you have to hit the 10 Commandments perfectly. Never fail, not one of them. Well,
that's part of it, because then you also have like all the other steps that go with the Mosaic law.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying in a simplistic,
right?
In a simplistic manner.
That is checklist.
Yeah,
that
the
is
checklist. Because in referring to what he's saying is the checklist. That is the checklist. But you have to hit them perfectly. And DeAndre, we actually talked about this week, and regarding Christ and did Christ live a perfect life? Yes, the 10 Commandments, he lived them out perfectly.
He lived out the entire law perfectly.
And on the entire law, not just the 10 Commandments, but the entire law
perfectly
to the letter. And no one can do that.
Right.
Except for Christ. So
Romans 7.
If someone did not live that perfectly, we have no hope.
Right.
And that is what validates our faith in Christ. That's what gives us the hope in Christ and the hope to heaven, because that is God's requirement, is perfection.
Right.
And no one can do that. So thank God, like you said, thank God we don't got no checklist, because we will fall short.
Oh, that check. I fall short of my wife's checklist.
Dang, imagine God's. Facts. You ain't saying nothing but the truth. Man, I don't know how many times I came home from the grocery store like, dang, I forgot that. She's like, and I wrote it down. I'm like,
and I wrote it down. And I walked in with it. I walked out without it. I didn't know.
I was like, yo, I was right in front of it, and it was right there. And somehow I still walked away without it. Oh, man. Hey, man. As that is why Christ came, lived, and died on the cross for us, because we cannot do that.
Yeah.
So what else did you get from it?
Or
at least what did you grab from it? Because you asked me, so I told you what I grabbed from what you said.
Yeah, I mean, I got that. I got assurance. Had me thinking about that. You know, had me thinking about the fact that it doesn't depend on anything that I can do or cannot do, and just having faith, just leaning on hope. You know, that's what it gave me, just strengthened my assurance. I'm just like, you know, what he started, he will complete.
Yes, I love that, because that right there, I don't know, that gives me so much peace. You know what I mean? Because like all other religions, they have the works. So imagine every single day you have to live out this checklist of things like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do. If I don't do this, then salvation is in jeopardy. Like, if God came and I didn't hit these lists, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much pressure that is on top of living life, working, having a wife, all these responsibilities. Like, yo, I gotta make sure I do this and this and this and that, because if not, if God comes and I'm in the middle of completing one of these tasks, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, but God already did it. And I have that assurance that I'm good, because as long as I seek his righteousness and continue to grow in my faith, it's not a checklist. It's just something that honors him.
Right.
But it's not something that he's like, oh, he read the Bible today?
Check.
Good boy. Like it's not, I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? That's so assuring, and it's like a weight lifted. Like I remember when I actually really got to that doctrine and I understood it, I'm like, man, because growing up, you know, fasting and, you know, all these things that I have to make sure I do at least once a month, I got to make sure I do all these things.
Man, bro.
And now coming to this realization of like, yo, I don't have to have this checklist as long as I'm seeking his wisdom and seeking his counsel and reading his word and washing myself.
Lean on him.
I'm not really in jeopardy.
Lean on him. No.
When you're strong. We're going to remix that.
Man, I don't know. Somebody might be like,
please excuse my sniffles.
My sniffles.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a little...
He's the judge.
I feel like I might be getting sick. You know, my wife had the sniffles, so I might be getting the sniffles.
So what else is on the dot, bro? What about music, man? We got some stuff in the works, but...
music-wise, right now, I got 3 tracks right now. 3 solid tracks that I got, and I want to do at least 2 more. I want to do a little... I don't want to do an EP because I want to release singles, but I want to have at least 5 in my arsenal before I start releasing tracks. As I get my studio up and ready, which is going to be soon. And I'm going to be pumping out some tracks for you guys. I can't wait. You know what I mean? If you guys want to hear at least a little something, if you guys really care, I'm just going to throw that out there. For those that are listening just this episode, if you guys want to hear something, hit me up, DM me, and I'll email you a track. And you guys can tell me what you think. You know, and
yeah, we got some projects out in the works as well. But what about like what about popping in CHH? What's popping in the culture right now? What's going on with Christian hip hop?
Just random or what?
Yeah,
like
man,
on the dock?
what you want to bring up?
Well, shout out to Kingdom Music. You know, they got their soldier back. Mr. Brian Trejo.
Is it Trejo?
Yeah, Trejo. Trejo.
That's how you say it?
Trejo, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I may be saying it wrong. Hopefully, I'm not saying it wrong. I've heard it said like that. Brian Trejo.
What up, Mike? What up, brother?
Yeah, shout out to Brian Trejo, who just got released from prison. You know what I mean? He's with his family.
This dude turned himself in for something that he did in the past.
Something he did a long time ago, like way before he was saved, and it caught up to him.
And his family was keeping his social media updated.
Yep.
And this dude was running Bible studies and giving the gospel to people while he was locked up.
Facts. Like
shout out to that brother.
He is a huge testimony.
I'll tell you guys a quick story, actually.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you a quick story, actually. I'll tell you guys a story about Kingdom Music. So I go out to South by Southwest out in Texas. This is how long ago? 2000. This is last year.
Yeah, last year.
Last year. All right. So I go out there. I don't know what to expect. It's my first time out at South by Southwest. So the entire thing was an experience.
Yeah.
The place that we were supposed to stay that night ended up falling through. So then we're calling up random people. Hey, do you have a friend out here? Do you have a friend out here? Finally, we find a spot. Couldn't find any parking. The whole thing was an experience, right? So we end up going to the show, to the event. And everybody's in there, lights are going, like everyone's having a bomb time, like everybody, get to see all the brothers and everything, say what's up. I go up there, perform, everybody's performing. Yo, when this brother stepped on that stage, man, I felt like I was in like a Wu-Tang concert, bro.
Man.
I was like, yo, every single Wu-Tang member came out. Like
he squatted up. That dude squatted up.
Man, the whole place changed, bro. As soon as he stepped foot on the stage, it's like the whole place got a little dark. I was like,
you are not lying.
Saying the other day, I got a little scared real quick. I was like, wait. I thought this was a sanctuary. What just happened? Man, I felt like running out of there, man. I was like, what's good? But yo, he went up there, he did his thing, man. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to Kingdom Music, man. Love you, brothers. They out there doing their thing, man.
He is, man. He's doing his thing. I'm proud of him.
Anyway, so he just came out today.
Yeah, today. He just came out today. He's with his family. Shout out to Monica Trejo, to his wife, who's also a singer. That's so dope. Like him and his wife, they minister together. Like she sings, like she's done hooks on his tracks as well. You know what I mean? And he raps. So they go out and they minister together as a unit.
Yeah.
They tour together. Like that's just so dope. You know what I mean? To have your partner be involved, like that involved with your ministry. Like that's just so shout out to Kingdom Music. They doing big things. And now that he's out, I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot more. God is doing amazing things in that ministry. So if you guys don't know who they are, check them out. As well as Five. I think I said this a couple episodes ago. He got signed. He's also in that circle. Five is also a dope artist. Very humble. Really humble dude. Like those two people who actually, when I went to South by Southwest, they kind of like had me. More Five than anything.
They took you beneath their wings?
For real. You're using my songs against me.
Go ahead.
No, for real.
Quoting your verses.
Five actually invited me to his wife's birthday party. You know what I mean? I actually went out to dinner with them, got to meet his mom and all that. Like, and I literally just met him. Like, I want to say like a couple hours before that. And he was like, yo, what are you doing out here? I was like, nothing. We'll just probably go back to the hotel with wifey. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. And he's like, I became Mexican somehow. Stupid. So he's like,
you were in Cali.
So he's like, yo, just come out to dinner with us. And I'm like, yeah, I was in Texas. But hey, that's
nothing.
Yeah, but they have mad Mexicans out there too, though.
Yo, why? Don't, this ain't a Mexican bash thing. Go ahead.
I never bash no Mexican. I love Mexicans and I love their food
it's
too.
The second time you talk
about these tacos.
That's not right.
Oh, but yo, I love them, man. I love that culture. Ma, what up, Ma? Your mom's on.
My ma?
Yeah.
Hey, mama.
So Five definitely showed mad love.
Yeah.
Mad love. So I love that dude for the way he treated me and the way he made me feel so welcome. So check his music out too. 5. He's full-time ministry, traveling, doing his thing. So definitely a good brother. I definitely look up to him in regards to, eventually trying to become full-time as well. Let's see what else is on the docket right now.
I don't know, man. We're talking about engaging culture. We're talking about things like that throughout the week.
Yeah, so what's trending right now? So I hope y'all caught Kanye West. I hope you guys caught that. If you guys didn't catch that on SNL, did you watch it?
I saw a little bit of it, but to be honest with you, man, Kanye West is just like, it's too much, man, at this point.
It is too much, but I like how he rattles cages. I just like to sit back with popcorn and just like watch how everybody reacts. And basically what he did was he went on SNL and he literally took the whole crew hostage.
What do you mean?
This is what happened. Check this out, dude. You know how when they have people in SNL perform, they go out there. Yeah. So he goes out there, he invites everybody, like, yo, come out here and perform with me. So it's Kanye West. So everybody's like, okay, cool. So they all come out there, and before he performs, he gives this whole political speech. Oh. Before he performs, like a whole thing, like talking about liberalism and how the media's brainwashing people for a good 5-10 minutes, bro. And that's what I mean by he took him hostage, because nobody was expecting him to go on basically a sermon on politics.
How you not gonna expect it with Kanye? Like, you should
make a couple comments,
but kind of expect
a whole entire dialogue.
He has a long track record of
I'm
doing
sure you guys
like
are probably
that.
asking, like, why is he even talking about this? The reason why I'm talking about this is I feel like us as Christian artists, with those that have platforms like that, I feel like we should take that same opportunity to proclaim how he was so adamant about proclaiming Trump and proclaiming all his stuff. At least that's how I took it. I was just like, dang, this dude straight shut it down to talk about Trump. Imagine if an artist had that platform and was just like, yo, Jesus Christ is Lord. And if y'all don't repent,
well, he wouldn't be invited there again, that's for sure.
I don't think he's gonna be invited for do what he did. Homeboy wore the MAGA hat and everything. Like, he's done. Like, SNL is banning him for life. I'm sorry. And the fact that he had the entire comedic crew behind him and he was just like, oh, you guys gonna watch me perform? Actually, pause. Trump is the man. Like, yo, this dude went nuts. He lost his mind. Completely lost his mind.
Alex said Kanye's views change with the wind.
It does,
he has no foundation.
Because like the week before, he was saying he's the biggest troll ever. Yeah, and then he goes on the show and tries to make it seem like he's really talking about something.
He knows what he's doing. I mean, he knows trolling is going to get him attention.
Yeah,
and he might actually believe in the stuff that he's doing. Like, he might actually believe that he has a message to put out to the world.
Yo, no doubt though. The craziest thing he said about the MAGA hat.
Go ahead.
Did you hear about it?
No. What, the brim? Something about the brim?
Yeah. This dude said, yo, I could wear this hat because I changed the brim, so I infused it with positivity. So the hat is no longer means whatever it means. So meant before.
He can inject.
He injected positivity in it.
Inject a feeling or
into the hat because he changed the brim.
Bring thought to life through the brim of a hat.
Facts. I'm like, man, stop lying. You just want us to buy the hat. Like, where do I go get the hat? That's the next question. Okay, fine. Where do I get the hat? I'll play along. Where do I get the hat, Kanye?
I'm gonna inject my positivity through the brim of this hat.
He was trying to be so slick,
anybody who wears this hat
will have positivity.
Will be brainwashed with Kanye West's positivity.
Yeah, you'll have positive energy.
No. What are you doing, man?
You'll have positive energy.
All right, so what are you saying? What are you saying? The Christian is supposed to inject positive energy into a...
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like
shirt.
I'm saying how courageous are we when given a platform? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've never had a platform like that. The only platform I've ever had was like the Puerto Rican festival here, but I wasn't saved at the time, so that don't really count. But that was the biggest platform I ever had. That was thousands of people in
Alex.
Puerto Rican
Alex was there for that.
Yeah,
Alex, you were there for the Puerto Rican festival. You were the DJ.
Yes, he was.
All he did was press play.
He pressed play. He wasn't scratching nothing, but he was there killing it.
He was there.
Killing it with his play bag.
Yo, you were there. I think you just pressed play and you were doing some kind of scratches or something. Was it fake scratches, Alex?
The fake scratches.
He walked away and I still heard some scratches.
He walked away.
He's like, hold on, guys, I gotta go pee.
Yo, he completely walked away, and it was still like Alejandro.
No. He had a tag. I made him a tag, actually.
Oh, you did?
They didn't allow me to. Remember, that's right, Alex.
Yeah. They didn't want you scratching.
That's when isn't that when Gil came out and he had a whole salsa routine and he was dancing around with the dances that we brought up?
Oh yeah, we did have a routine, but it wasn't a salsa routine.
Yeah, it was like it's like a Backstreet Back kind of thing.
Backstreet's back.
You were doing something. I remember. Stupid. It was like that, and you were doing some.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to the show.
I hope you never ever see that show. If there's ever any film that comes to light, don't watch it.
Oh my goodness.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
No, but yo, if you guys, there's actually a picture that we posted with the bandanas. Yeah, we posted that because we were showing the contrast and difference in where we are now to what we used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
In that picture, I had braids.
You had braids. I had long hair. I had long hair. Yo,
and like 200 pounds heavier.
I was like 200 and something pounds with long hair past my shoulders,
for real,
all twisted up.
Yo, Marrio has some weird styles back in the day. If y'all don't know, Marrio was always tiptoeing the line when it came to styles. Long hair don't care. Then he shaved it and had the ponytail, just the Buddha tail in the back.
The Buddha tail.
With beads in it.
Yeah.
Then he had the labret ring with the spike.
All right. So listen. So what's the point of that? So are you saying the Christian's supposed to be going up there and just stopping everything and saying, hey, you know what? Shailene did that.
Shailene did do that.
Did that.
He did do that, actually.
He was at a show. He stopped dead in the show, like right in the middle of his show, and he gave the gospel. And it was a Christian event, actually.
Stopped the lights, stopped
everything, and he gave him the gospel in the middle of his show.
That was super dope. Yo, Alex, you don't be coming in here.
Don't be giving some stuff away.
For real. We talking about Marrio right now. This is Marrio Esco's show.
No. All right, go ahead. So, I don't know, man. I feel a little different about that. I don't think that
I'm saying if this is a Christian event, I'm not talking about like you a Christian and you are performing as an artist. I'm talking about you are a Christian artist and you are given this platform.
Tell you the truth. I think that you could be a Christian and create music just to entertain people.
I feel you, but I'm talking about if the song.
So like 2 hops this time. Boom, boom, slide to the left. Boom, boom, slide to the right. Stuff like that. I think we could do that.
Damn, that's on a whole new level of listening to music. First of all, that's a dance song.
I know.
Like it has choreographed.
Why can't me as a Christian be like slide to the left, dunk, dunk, slide to the right? Why can't me as a Christian be like, you know what? I'm gonna make cruise songs.
Yeah, I hope you guys are hearing this.
I'm gonna make cruise songs.
Definitely is an Instagram clip right here.
I'm just trying to make a cruise song.
I want to be a Christian and write songs like slide to the left.
Yo, that dude got paid mad
to
money.
The right. What the heck does that have anything to do with it?
I'm saying you could make him. Yo, you know how many royalty checks that dude gets because of that? You go to a cruise, that's all you're gonna hear.
For real.
That's all you hear through the cruise. Facts. The entire cruise is slide to the left and slide to the right and 2 hops this time. The whole cruise. No matter where you go. It doesn't matter if you're on the Lido deck. It don't matter if you.
That's how you know Marrio is way too versed in cruise trips.
Deck, slide.
You on the Lido deck?
Oh, you in the auditorium?
That's not even a word I would ever use. Yo, where were you? I was on the Lido deck.
Oh man, but it's facts.
It is true. It is true. I don't have a problem with that though. I don't have a problem with a Christian just making songs.
Cha-cha,
just to make songs. But that's not the point. I'm saying.
You said the cha-cha slide is evil.
All right, I'm saying, let's say you got invited to
Alex, how's the cha-cha slide evil, man?
So if you got invited to a really big event, like huge, let's say Rock the Bells, because that's a hip hop rap event.
Yeah.
Rock the Bells tour. Like you get invited.
Yeah.
You would not take the opportunity to give the gospel.
I don't.
Or you would just rap your show and just bounce.
If I have an opportunity to chop it up with some people.
No, I'm saying on stage. Like you have access to millions of people right now. Like millions of people go to this show. Like just to give the gospel real quick. Like, yo, Jesus came, lived and died and lived a perfect life.
I mean,
quick.
You know what? To be honest
with you. We've been trained to give the gospel in like
30 seconds. To be completely honest with you, I'm there performing my songs, so you're gonna hear the gospel no matter what. So I mean, like for me, that's true. However, if you do go out there, right, and you do have a slide to the left, and you're a Christian, and you don't,
sorry, I just can't take that.
I'm sorry.
If you're a Christian and you got a slide to the left,
I won't judge you for that. I'm not gonna judge you for it. Okay, let's say you're an actor. I think there are actually real Christian actors that are in like movies out there. Like we wouldn't,
Chris Pratt.
Okay,
he's another reason. He straight up gave the gospel.
The Star-Lord.
In the award show.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the Star-Lord, he did give the gospel.
Perfect point.
Wow, that's right.
And that's my point. When given a platform with that many people,
if he didn't, would you judge him?
I wouldn't judge him, but I would say
I used to.
But I would say man, I wish he would have.
I did it with Lecrae.
Yeah, I did too. I was one of them.
When Lecrae went up there on his platforms where he didn't share the gospel every single opportunity that he had.
Yeah, but I mean,
there
was a lot of them that he didn't really.
I don't know.
Voice his. You know what I'm saying? In those platforms. I heard that every show, at the end of the show, he does that. But I'm saying on BET, that would have been so sick. Chris Pratt did it. It's a perfect example. Chris Pratt did it.
Okay, but if he didn't, I'm saying, if he didn't,
I wouldn't judge him.
I wouldn't look at him like, oh my goodness, he dropped the ball there.
Nah, I wouldn't judge him.
Because how many times do we, like, let's say you get an award at your job. And you stand up to get your oh, thank you, you shake your hands. Are you obligated at that point to stop everything and give the gospel right there? Boom.
You're not obligated.
Will you do it?
I probably would.
You would?
Yeah, I probably would. I have.
You won an award at your job?
No, it wasn't an award, but I've gone up for.
Was that on your way out? Yo, you know what? God bless y'all souls.
Yo, I sang a gospel centered. I sang a super gospel centered song on my cruise ship.
Yeah, but
it was super gospel centered.
You say, you know what? Let me explain all this right now.
No, I didn't.
And take the opportunity to really break it down.
No, I didn't.
So did you drop the ball?
I didn't drop the ball because I gave the gospel in the song. I mean, the song is explicit. It's not like I was allegoric. Like you had to figure it out and decipher. Like, did he mean Jesus Christ when he said Jesus Christ?
There's been times where you sang like a cover song just because someone wanted to hear you sing, and you in front of people and you just sing a song.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Okay. So what's the difference between being in front of everyone in a cruise ship and being in front of 20 people at a house, a family party?
I see where you're going with that.
So then did you drop the ball? You see what I'm saying?
All right, I'm gonna put it like this.
You see what I'm saying?
If I thought about it and I didn't do it, I dropped the ball.
Okay, so like if you have
if you thought about it like, man, right now would be a perfect time to give the gospel, and then you're like, nah,
I don't want to kill my.
Yeah, I don't want people to think I'm corny now after I just murdered it. Like that, you dropped the ball.
Well,
if you didn't think about it,
that's an issue of your own conscience.
Yeah, but it's still dropping the ball.
But if you don't do it and you just. What
do you guys think? Somebody chime in.
They've been chiming in, man. One of the best ways to spread the gospel is how you live and treat other people, from Alex.
Dope.
My mom said I'm sliding to the left. What's next? Mama, 2 hops this time.
2 hops this time.
two hots this time. But what I'm saying,
he said, "Yo, ma, 2 hops this time."
If I make a song as a Christian that made people hop 2 times,
that would be hilarious
on a cruise ship, right?
First of all,
and it's not explicitly anything. I don't see a problem with that.
I don't see a problem with that either.
You know, I don't see a problem with that. Some people might say there's a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that. However, I mean,
I used to be one of those people too.
I did too. I was, dude. I was always judging the crowd. He was the target, man. He was like, now my target shifted, but it was.
He was though.
It was at one point. I think it was a target for a lot of people. Actually, I think to some it's still a target.
It is.
People
still come at him hard. I'm like over it already. I'm just
it's like old news.
You're beating a dead horse.
It's
like,
old news. Leave it alone.
If he's not claiming to be Christian, Christian artist or whatever, like he's not claiming the title, let him do his thing. Who cares? Like it doesn't matter. Like why does that affect you? If you don't like what he's doing, then do it. Like you do it. You be that guy.
Make the change.
Like affect the culture then.
You know what? Actually, now that you say that, that's another reason why we're doing this as well. Because we see some things too within the culture that we want to see changed.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we talked about was, why is it that we're always several steps behind?
Yeah.
And people always want to come out and be like, no, we're not. We're catching up. We're getting better. The fact still remains, like, none of us can fake the funk. None of us can try to act like we don't see it. You look at Christian art, you look at secular art. I mean, really, there's no comparison between the two. Some people, not logged in. I think I'm out of this.
Yo, did you closed it?
I think am I still here?
I'm still in. I mean, unless it's not caught up.
We jumped out. However, I'm still recording as a backup, so it's all
Hey, that's what's
good.
Cool. It's all good. We good.
It's all good.
Yeah, we lost them.
I think we did, yeah. I don't know. Actually, it's still saying I'm live, so I guess I'm live.
Yeah, I'm still on.
Man.
I still see it.
Let me see if I jump in here. Oh, man, I forgot to mute my mic. Oh, I'm still live.
Yeah, so let's keep it going.
How do I end this thing? That's the bullshit. That's the scariest part.
Marrio Esco joined.
Yo, how do I end my own live? That is hilarious. Anyway, so what we talking about? Because we're still in here, I guess.
Dang. So we was talking about... Shoot, man, now I lost it. Because you completely took me off topic.
My bad,
affecting the culture and how we're behind.
Yeah. Good. Go with it.
So...
Get with it.
So it's not really the sense that we're behind, you know what I mean? In the sense that, like, the music isn't good. Like, there are some good artists out there. I wouldn't say that it's completely trash. It's just, all right. Let's just go to where this all sparked from. So I was watching Wado Radio, and I believe you hit me to it, like you told me to check it out and stuff like that.
Which one?
Well, I watched several, but the one I'm referencing to right this second would be the Dayton show. And he was talking with Dayton, and Dayton was addressing the whole CHH is not dead, and he felt really offended by that statement. And he was making a lot of statements in regards to how his ministry is super effective, and that those who are saying CHH is dead is because they can't spit or they don't got bars. So they can't really make that claim. They don't have the authority to make that claim, and that his ministry is super effective and that he's making the work. And for us, for that person or whoever said it, that CHH is dead is like saying he's not effective either. Like they all dead.
Yeah.
So it was super interesting. So it made me think about that term or that statement that CHH is dead.
Yeah.
So I started really thinking about it, and I went.
Are you picking a hat right now?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Hey.
What are you doing right now? What is this?
Hey.
Are you in the middle right now of our show picking a hat?
Why is there any eyes on this screen over here? My screen is my screen.
Because I don't have any chats coming up on my screen.
You got a bar podcast. You did a video and everything. You got highlighted on their website. They use your voice. You got interviews. Let me get some shine. Dang.
Time out. Wait.
I know it's Marrio Esco show, but it also says
on the sideline, bro.
With Gil
What's
Vargas.
going on here?
So he's hooking me up with a hat. He knows my hat game is strong.
All right, go ahead.
So he's recognizing
engaging the culture.
I'm engaging the culture right now.
Go ahead.
Can I engage the culture? All
right, engage the culture. Go ahead. Tell me about it.
So we was so it really made me think about what does that statement mean? Why is that term being used that CHH is dead, right? Now,
okay, I see where you're going.
In the secular
so
realm,
right now you're confronting Dayton.
No, I'm not confronting Dayton. I'm critically thinking.
Someone tagged Dayton. He's confronting him. Go ahead.
Nope, not confronting. I'm critically thinking through his statement that he said CHH is dead, or not that is dead. That he's combating against the idea that CHH is dead, and so it made me think about why would someone even say that? Like, why would someone say CHH is dead? Because that is a very bold claim to say that a genre is dead. A genre that a lot of people hold near and dear, that people proclaim. People have clothing lines, based on CHH. So this is a really bold claim. So I thought about it, really researched, and what I came to the conclusion is that I now agree with those people that say CHH is dead. And I disagree with...
You agree that CHH is dead?
Yes.
Stamp this. Where we at?
Okay? And this is why. When a culture is completely flourishing, when a culture is moving forward, right? There's growth. There's a ton of growth. There's new artists being put on, new names constantly being put on. As of right now, I mean, just last week, there's like new albums, new artists, there's just new constantly. But in CHH, it seems to be that there's only a selected few that is always on the mantle. There's never any new people being introduced to that level of, fame. It's always the same people.
So it's not flourishing.
At least I don't see it. And if
when you
I'm
say,
wrong, please someone correct me.
So when you're saying CHH is dead, you're meaning like it's not growing, it's not progressing.
It's not progressing.
How so?
I don't see new artists. And the artists that I see, I am looking. I'm looking at the major platforms, and I'm always seeing the same people, the same artists. And I'm not putting anybody out there in the sense where like I'm throwing them under the bus, but there's been even dialogue between other not so popular factions, but within threads that you and I have been dialoguing with, and even they said because of the lack of new artists on the rise, we keep covering the same guys.
But there's plenty of artists out there.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of artists out there, right. But because of the lack of material, there's no new stuff coming out. They just keep covering the same guys, the Andy Minios, the Lecrae's, the Bizzles, and the same. Why is that? Because these people have established platforms and they're able to continuously put out new stuff. Where the newer guys don't have the same budgets, they don't have the same equipment maybe, and it's harder for them to come out with new material constantly, so they're not being put on. My point is, if this was really flourishing, because this is something the secular realm does, nowadays not as much because now it's all numbers game, but because CHH is a little bit behind and it's not a humongous numbers game, I don't see anybody saying, wow, you're dope. You know what? I'm going to invest in you and I'm going to build you up. And I'm going to get you up to be on the same level as me.
So you're thinking it's an investment?
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of investment with the dudes that have the platform into the newer guys that are trying to come up.
So you're
and the reason why they're not able to put out product is because they don't have the funds to do it. So if someone like, let's say a Lecrae was like, yo, you're dope, I'm going to pour into you.
But then Lecrae does have Andy Mineo.
Yeah, how long has he had that same crew?
But it takes a lot, man. You take on an artist, you take on another artist. You know how it takes just for one artist.
I understand that. But the reason why I'm saying this is because the purpose of doing this is to grow the culture.
I think, I hear what you're saying. I have a different perspective, though.
All right, what's your perspective?
I hear what you're saying. You're saying, like, I don't think it's the Lecraes, and the Bizzles, I don't think it's a fault in there in raising.
No, I'm not putting fault. I'm just saying I'm not.
But I'm saying
this.
like what you're saying. Like you're saying that they're not bringing up other people.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Lecrae, Bizzle. You mentioned these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, those are the guys on the top right now. These are the guys.
But do you think that the fault is in them?
No, I don't think the fault.
So then clarify the fault. Then where's the fault?
I think the fault is that nobody's doing it. I don't think anybody is just taking artists and just helping them build. For an example, I heard, Dayton was like, oh, these dudes don't got bars. Why don't you help them get bars?
Oh, you hear that? Dayton.
I'm not calling them out. But if I'm going to talk
Dayton
about
might be
dope. Let's talk. Let's talk about this. Because if I see an artist, right?
Someone tag Dayton.
If I see an artist that can't sing because I'm a singer, right? And he sings and it sounds trash, and I have a humongous platform.
Yeah,
I would want to at least help him out as much as I can. If you know what I'm saying, especially if I see promise,
right?
And the claim that at least how it was put, I can't judge Dayton for what he said. I'm only judging on what was said. There's no, you just don't have bars, whatever, and we're being effective. So, is no one else being effective? Is anyone else able to, have that talent?
Yeah, I think it's bigger than that, though. I think I see what you're trying to say. I see what you mean, but we don't know like what he's doing behind the scenes. We don't know if that's his way to instigate people to get better. We really don't know. However, I think personally it goes beyond that. I think the thing is not developed. And when you're not developed, right, and you're on top and it's undeveloped and you're on top and you wrestle with your own heart, right? How easy it is to be on top and in control of certain things and direct it how you want to direct it, take time with it, let it sit where it's at. It's easy for any influencer to become complacent when you're the guy on top and there's no pushback.
Well,
you're comfortable. You're here. There's no reason to push. Like in the world, when you look at the world, they're relentless. They really are. Like we can be like that, but in Christ, in a godly way. Like we can be, competitive in a godly way. They're competitive all the way. Like they're like in an ungodly way. Like they're ready. They'll kill to get to the next level. And I'm not saying for us to do that, but I'm saying like in regards to the industry, let's say hip hop. Here comes Joe Budden, starts his podcast. It influences everyone else to step up, and now everybody wants to get a podcast in the industry. And now they're relentless. If that move works, I'm going to use that move. Here comes other dudes trolling. Well, if that move works, I'm going to use that move. Here comes, and they're relentless to get those moves. And now you have a sense of accountability because everybody's seeing everyone make moves, and everybody's calling each other out and doing things. So you got to kind of like make sure you walking right, because they'll catch you and call you out. Mm-hmm. And it kind of causes people to be like, man, that dude was dope at his performance. His album, wow, he got this feature, that feature. Wow, that guy did this. And listen to how Joe Budden in this one covered that, and how they said, you see what I'm saying? Like the reviews, if you're good, first of all, you're pressured to be good. Yeah. You have the pressure, like I better outperform that guy. You have the pressure to be good. And if everyone says, that was good, that was really good, Like now you have that sense, like the competitive, everyone's competing to sound just as good as that guy, and there's growth and flourishing, and people are going up against each other, looking at numbers and like trying to outdo the other guy and take that talent, take that skill and keep developing. That dude's music video was like that. Like everyone's one up in each other, and you have flourish, and it keeps developing and growing and accountability. With us, it's small. It's a very small niche. Very small. So the guys that are on top, it's easy to become complacent on the top of that because we don't have a developed genre. How hip hop as a whole is developed. You know what I'm saying? You have podcasters coming up. You have all these interviews, all these DJs, all these radio stations, all these, and they're falling. There's not one guy on top. There's not a monopoly. There is this one, that one, that one, that one. There's all spread out.
But you don't think that there should be more opportunities for like the underdogs to have?
But that's not
a platform to try to get out there more. Like, you don't think that, like labels throw contests, you know what I mean? They have different things where the people who don't have the budgets and don't have that,
but they are doing stuff like that though. That's my thing. They are doing that right now. Rapzilla just had a beat battle.
Yeah, it's a beat battle, but I'm talking about I'm not talking about a competition to help a artist, like an artist come out. You know what I'm saying? A beat battle, yeah, that's dope. Like different artists come together.
I think what it is dialogue and conversation. That's what I think it is. I think the piece that's missing is bridging the gaps all together. Having people comfortable enough to speak out on things and stuff like that in order to move it forward. That's my personal belief, is talk, dialogue. You know where most of the talk and the dialogue is? Within their own bodies, in their own churches. But the truth of the matter is, like, do we actually know each other? Am I actually fully aware of the doctrines that this guy believes? Do I even know what he believes? Do we fully know what everyone believes? Like, are we aware of each other to that extent? Like, am I comfortable enough to say a disagreement publicly and we can have a friendly conversation? Or is it going to be this big, hush up, never have a disagreement, never have your own opinion? We can't talk about certain things in order to prevent us from gossiping or slandering or causing any stirring up any division or
back
anything
to
like that.
Our point before is that we're too lax and we don't really open up to each other. There's no dialogue. There's no back and forth. You need to be, in order to really sharpen each other, we need to be open with each other. And a lot of us, and this is a fact, a lot of us are look what your mom said, but why don't we all take a chance? Like, just take a chance on somebody new. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not only that, but things like this, to be able to open up and have that dialogue, to be able to talk about certain things, you know what I mean? For everyone to have a voice and bring in their concerns in order to develop and grow, have some pushback. Because all we know through each other is through social media for the most part. Like we always talk about, don't confront him publicly one-on-one. We're in the internet. I'm not saying that we take away the word because we're in a new time. I know how people are going to try to twist things up. I know how they do.
Like
but if you have a public ministry or a public thing that you do and you're putting something out publicly, I think I can respond to that publicly as well. And I'm never going to be coming to you side by side to have a conversation with you because you live in Cali or Alaska or wherever you are, Canada, and I don't know you like that, but I have a friendship with you on the internet. I have a friendship with all of you on the internet. Like, how are we going to actually have that dialogue and that opportunity to talk? Things like this will open up dialogue and have opportunities to talk.
Yeah.
If we influence other people to chop it up and talk up, like,
I think for me is like I have this special place when it comes to, growing. You know what I'm saying? And lack of opportunities. Like, you know what I mean? I feel that no different to being in a body. You know what I'm saying? And having an elder be like, yo, man, you're young in the faith. You're a young man. You probably don't know how to navigate yourself as a young man and a Christian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would like to disciple you. You know what I'm saying? And that's happened to me. You know what I'm saying? In the church that we belong to, I've had grown men come to me and be like, you know what I mean? how are you, young man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know where you are and to how to navigate? And that's what I expect.
You almost feel uncomfortable.
And so,
like, yo, you kind of jumping into my business, like my bubble here.
But at the same time, I'm like, yo, but this dude really wants to see me grow, and he's at a higher place than me in understanding.
And then you feel like you can open up to this brother because he was bold enough to enter into your space and talk to you.
And that is exactly the same example I'm giving in regards to also in music. Like, I want to pour into someone. Like, you know, if I had a huge platform and I'm doing it and I see someone who had the same hunger as me, I was where they were.
Right.
So I would be like, yo, man, like, if you for real, and I would test him out. And if I see he's for real, I would want to pour into him and help him grow. And by me pouring into him, it's going to help the culture. Ultimately is what I want.
So to help the culture, so not to get on a whole nother tangent about how we want to see the change and we never have any kind of solution. One of the things that I noticed personally is us going back to us being behind.
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed personally, and there are people that are stepping up. There are people that are.
No, they are. I'm not saying CHH as a whole.
Well, I'm saying as artists. I'm saying as recording artists. There are people that are stepping up, and I see that. But one place where we're lacking is the engagement of the actual culture.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
so one thing that I mentioned was, how are you ever going to lead the culture if you don't know the culture?
If you're behind it.
If you're behind it. How are you ever going to lead it if you're behind it? If you're not,
I love that analogy and like that whole like double entendre, I guess, because it's like, how are you leading the culture if you're behind it?
You're behind it.
Like, that's so dope.
Get in front of it.
True. You need to be in front of it if you're going to be leading someone. You can't be like, yo, I'm going to lead you, but go further. I'll be back here.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. The
how are you going to engage in culture that you know nothing about?
Facts.
So they say, you know what? A lot of people say, like, you're not even supposed to talk of these things. They use Corinthians. I think it's one of the Corinthians. Go look it up. We got Google, but it's one of them that say.
Please forgive us.
It's one of them that say,
versed like that.
It's one of them that says. One of the verses says, "Do not even." Maybe I'm wrong. It's not even Corinthians, but hey, do not even speak of the things that they do in you know, in the dark. Like, do not even speak, or even whatever. And that kind of like is the verse that kind of cause us to be like, you know, be shameful of those things. But to engage the culture doesn't mean to engage in their sin.
Exactly, yeah.
To engage in the culture doesn't mean I'm going to just hop in and be one of them, exactly what they're doing, and I'm just going to, you know, that's not what I mean by looking and being part of the culture, because we know even Paul said, when I was with
the Jews, I became a Jew.
I don't know if it's the Jews, but because he is a Jew, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's besides the point.
No, I know what you mean.
But when he was with those people, he was part of them.
Yeah,
like, he
we don't know the verses.
Part
there
of them. That's fine. We're not scholars.
There you go. Go check the verses. Google it. But
we're not even like. I wouldn't even consider myself a 100%
Some people
theologian.
will sway all the way to one side and say, yeah, Paul was, when he was saying that he was like them.
That's why we need bar podcasts.
Wow.
In our lives.
Wow. When he was like them, he didn't mean that, you know. I don't know how they get that twisted up, actually.
I don't. Because he
don't know how they
literally says it.
It doesn't mean that he was engaging in their sins.
No.
Like he was partaking in their sins. It means that he was well aware of what was happening in that culture. Matter of fact, he used one of the statues. Remember when he went to one of the towns and there was the statues and there was one to the unknown God, and he said, hey, I perceive that you men are very holy and I'm going to talk about this unknown God. And he took the opportunity to talk about the unknown God, and he preached the gospel and told them about Christ.
Yeah.
He was well aware. He actually complimented him. Oh, I see that you guys are actually holy men. He actually engaged them with their own stuff. He perceived. He was aware of his surroundings. He didn't go in there like this. Oh, look at all these blasphemous characters. Oh my goodness, look at all these idols. I cannot look at these idols. How dare I? And then he actually uses one to the unknown God and claims that it's Christ to the unknown God. How dare you, Paul? How dare you choose the statues to the unknown God? We don't know if that was an actual God. It was the unknown.
Facts.
And you made it Christ. How dare you? No, he engaged the culture by looking around and perceiving what was around, and he took an opportunity and boom, and gave the gospel. He was aware of what the culture was doing. Yep. He wasn't. So some people would say, yo, move out to the woods, get out of the city, get out of the sinful things. Don't even discuss the things that you see in the darkness. Don't even partake in their things. And then they completely remove themselves from all society. And they're completely comfortable with going to the four walls around them, sitting down amongst comfortable people, leaving for the week, going to their jobs, and never engaging the culture.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what I mean. You know what I mean? When I'm saying that CHH is not progressing, is that there's no engagement. There's no dialogue. There's no... Well, I'm not seeing the growth in the sense that it's getting to the level where, you know, different people are getting opportunities. There's dialogue. There's building of newer relationships. It just seems very cliquey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've talked about this already. You know, and that's a nail.
Well, that's the thing. Who bridges the gaps? There you go. Number one, who bridges the gaps? That's the
goal of the show,
right? And number two, what? That's the show.
That's the goal of the show. Okay. I'm saying is the goal is that like
we're coming up with titles after bridging the gaps.
I'm saying like that's the goal of the show.
That's gonna be the title now.
Probably
bridging the gaps. All right, cool. Put that up. Put that up, guy over there. We don't have an actual guy, but hey. That fake guy over there. Hey, Shane, can you put that up, please? Thanks.
We'll call him Shade.
I name it and I claim it. Shane? No.
Name it and I claim it.
Shane is supposed to be here.
For real.
Again. Shane, you fired.
Shame on you, man.
Shane on you.
Shane on you.
Man, Shane on you, boy. But what I'm saying is...
But yo, look, just to show how important it is. How important it is to engage the culture.
Go ahead.
Recently, Marrio is Marrio, the R&B artist, not Mario here.
Yeah,
is Marrio, you know, secular R&B artist. He hasn't been in the you know, music for like a good 5 years or so, something like that. He was just on Breakfast Club the other day, and he was talking about the new album he's coming out, Dancing Shadows or something like that. And he was talking about how he's not sure how to navigate anymore because everything is so new, everything's so different.
Yeah.
And that to me was telling because he's multi-million-dollar artist. Like, he's got all the money in the world, all the time in the world. Like,
yeah. And you could tell he's out of touch.
Completely out of touch. And that showed me, wow, how important it is for even in the secular realm to be in touch with the culture.
You got to know what's happening around you.
You have to understand and study and be well-versed in what's going on within your circle. And him having all this money, having all the time in the world, all this stuff, he admitted, like, yo, this is all new. The way music is consumed, like, everything is just new. So I'm just trying to come up with something authentic and new and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I would have thought with all this experience you have, that this would be obvious.
This is easy to you.
Yeah. Like that, the topic of the conversation should have been like, this is what I'm working on, and this is how I thought about it.
Yeah, you should have already had the answer. Before you go in, you should have been prepped. You should have been prepped.
He looks so uncomfortable talking about his own album that he said he's been working on for a long time. Couldn't even articulate how he arrived to his thoughts. Like, it was strange to see someone who had a huge backing, all the money in the world, that he could just create anything he wanted.
He's on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he's on the Breakfast Club. I mean, you ain't on the Breakfast Club if you ain't somebody.
Yeah, right.
So just seeing that and also seeing like how much he was struggling, I was like, wow. It makes no difference. Age, it makes no difference of anything.
Anything.
It's just literally you have to be
aware
you're
in tune what's going on. Now, to a certain extent, heads up, to a certain extent you can get lost in the chaos.
Yeah.
You can get lost in the chaos, and that's not what it's about. It's not about getting lost in the chaos. It's just about being aware. So we want to be cautious that you don't get lost in it, completely, taken off by it. Like you're gone down this current. You're taking off, and that's it. And now the worries of the world come in and choke you out. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's just about being aware of what's going on around you. That could be in any way. Like for a creative, we're talking about, because we're artists, for a creative, we're talking about the music industry. We're talking about the culture. We're talking about what's influencing the culture currently, what's trending right now, in order for us to have an understanding on where the intentions and the motives are. What is driving them? Because you got the cause and effect. You have the businesses that are trying to bank off of the the customers, the consumers. So their job is to find out what the motive is with these guys. Their job is to sell. Their whole job, a salesman's job, is to manipulate. He needs to get you to purchase this thing. He's going to tell you the problem and the solution. Like, we're all aware of this now. We're
I'm a salesman, so I do that all the time.
We're all aware of this. Here's the problem. Here's the solution. You need to buy this. Boom. That's the story of every story, right?
Facts.
So in a way, the business guys that run the show behind the scenes, they're constantly engaging the culture to the point where they have now ads that will follow the things that you like, and they check out your search history on Google, and next thing you know, the things that you're talking about, the things that you're searching is popping up on Instagram. There's a sponsor for that laptop I just checked out on Amazon, on my Instagram, and on my Facebook, and on my everywhere. All of a sudden, all these ads are popping up. They're relentlessly studying the culture, and they're finding ways to infiltrate and get their whatever they want done.
Did you hear about what Netflix is trying to do now?
Oh, I know. I heard about that. Alternate endings. Endings.
They're trying to get.
Netflix is studying everybody. They're geniuses, by the way. They're super smart. They started with reviews.
It's crazy.
Because let me tell you something. The dude who started the Netflix, he was an aspiring film director.
Yep.
He wanted to be a film director. So what he did was he built a platform, and he gave you all these movies and worked out deals and completely wiped out Blockbuster, right? And then the whole time he was allowing you to review so he could see what kind of movies that you like. And then he started building Netflix originals, which never fails for some reason. For the most part, you see a Netflix original, you're like, "Yo, this hit."
Because that dude took all the data, all the reviews. Like, "Oh, I hated the way this ending was. Oh, I hated how the middle of the movie dragged." All that data from these reviews.
Yep.
And homeboy created the perfect sauce.
Netflix originals with everything with our reviews. The Netflix customers right here.
Crazy.
Not only that, but now piggybacking on that, this dude went as far as creating. Now the talk is Netflix is going to have alternate endings
for all their series,
depending on the viewer. No, it depends on your profile.
What?
That's how crazy they're getting. So now they allowed you to create your own profile, and now things are coming up tailored to you. Things are coming up tailored to my wife. So I could
show you a movie and be like, "Yo, this ending was dope," and you could be like, "Huh? I didn't see that ending."
We have two different endings.
What? Yo, that is dope.
Depending on.
See, I knew they were doing alternate endings. I didn't know it was per profile,
bro. That's what we're coming to. My point. Okay, you see how we get lost in the sauce? You see how you get lost?
But that was sick, though.
So my point to that is, these people, right, it's strictly business, and there's nothing wrong with business. They know how to satisfy their customer, right? There's nothing wrong with learning how to satisfy their customer, but they're relentless with it. Yeah. So we as Christians are to infiltrate this culture, right? We're to come into this culture. Why is it that when you were baptized, the pastor didn't put your head under the water and leave it there? It's the end. You're a Christian now. Yeah. Why do you got to come up out of the water now?
That's true.
Why do you come up? Why are you still here? You're a Christian now. You're saved. Heaven awaits. Why am I here? When you become Christian, just take me. I'm done. It's over. The work is completed. Why do you remain? Why do you remain? Why do you stay here?
Are you literally asking me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. Because we are to live out this life, I guess. Yeah, until God comes.
What's the purpose, though?
To glorify God.
How so?
What do you mean, how so?
How so?
Because the Bible tells us.
Yeah, but what's the purpose? So you live out your life?
No, my life is to proclaim Christ.
There you go. Okay, that's my point. I'm trying to get to that point. I know you know it. People are listening, so I'm trying to get to that point. Don't look at me like I'm like, dude, I know this. Don't.
Well, that's why I'm like, I'm trying to figure out. Like, why are you asking me?
You asking me these little?
You quizzing me?
Questions, man. You think I don't know the word? You're about to fight? Like, what are you gonna do? We're gonna fight on live TV? Live TV.
Live TV.
Live. We're gonna fight.
Facebook Live television.
My point
Channel
is,
5.
My point is, we too are to be just as relentless as them.
Yeah.
Not in order to manipulate, but to infiltrate. Tag that. Yeah. Tag that spot right there.
Oh, Alex is asking, why did Christ live?
There you go. He lived to perfectly obey his heavenly Father, perfectly obey the law, that was required, save sinners.
Amen. To live, to die on the cross, and rise on the third day.
That's right. He lived to please his Father. Ultimately, he lived to please his Father.
Yeah.
Ultimately. To obey his Father in every way. To glorify him in every way. That's why he came. And he too said, my purpose is to proclaim.
Yep.
He too said, my purpose is to proclaim. Are we going over time? I know.
No.
I see you looking at your watch.
No, my watch literally just told me it's time for bed. My watch just literally told me it's time for bed.
I hope that this was a blessing time with y'all. So we're trying something new. We had some notes that we took throughout the week. Let us know what you think about that kind of this kind of show, and we're gonna keep engaging. We're gonna keep finding ways to improve. Like I said, the great news, we got a new spot. We're planning right now on dressing up that spot and finding ways. We're thinking about adding a phone line or something. You know me. Once I praise God, thank you, Lord.
This dude's never stopping.
Once he got me going, I'm going. And if he's gonna bless me and open up doors, then I'm gonna take those opportunities and run with it. So keep us in prayer, because at the end of the day, really, we want to entertain, provoke thought, give you a great show, cause us to just talk and dialogue, go back and forth. That's all we want to do, man. Amen. And we want to engage the culture as well. So friends, family, anybody else who you know who might enjoy this kind of content, tell them to hit us up, man. Tell them about the show. We try to come on every Friday.
Please share this show, put people on. You know what I mean? And also the most important thing, because we trying to be like Netflix. Give us your tips. Give us some and a review.
Give us a review.
You know what I'm saying? We need this data so that way we can improve the show for you guys. You know what I mean? Everything that you guys comment, everything that you guys say to us, we literally take it serious, and we talk about it throughout the week. Like, even the way this show is going now is based on what you guys have talked about, you know, how the show went, and we talk to each other, we watch the show again, and we're just like, yo, you know, let's do it this way. Maybe the people are like this. So this is all for you guys. So anything that you guys think would make the show better, or anything you want us to talk about, or some kind of format, let us know, so that way we can implement it. We'll shout you out too. If it's a great idea, it's a great idea.
We're going to really try. I mean, if you know me, I just need to create. So I'm going to keep creating regardless. But now that I got some people that are engaging and jumping on, and people are texting me throughout the week and talking back and forth, man, I love it.
Shane,
what does Shane say? Because he said he promises.
Disrespectful.
He said he promises he's coming next week.
Shane, but listen, for you to just come in and say, what's up, fellas, is disrespectful, because you're supposed to be here, man.
Yo, I love you, Shane. Shout out to Shane.
But we love you.
Shane's just going to come into the new spot like, yep.
About time, guys.
Where do I sit? I like my coffee black.
I like my coffee black.
Open up his Bible and
can you please clean this place up, please?
So listen, just hit us up direct. Follow the link to the actual podcast wherever you listen to it. We also have a podcast.
Oh, Alejandro's saying we should find out how to video conference.
I saw that. Alex, actually, if you hit me up with your thoughts on how you enjoyed the podcast, and then how you enjoyed the Facebook Live, and some ways that we can improve both for the experience for the guys that are listening via podcast and the guys jumping into Facebook Live. As we develop and continue, all we're trying to do is improve, engage, and provoke thought. That's it.
No sugar.
And we love you guys, man. Just let us know. Sorry, this dude's distracting me.
My bad. It's just that Shane is like,
man, Shane, keep it to yourself right now. You ain't here, so there's no Shane nothing. Listen, we love y'all guys. Till next week, grace and peace.
Grace and peace.
Take care. If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to check out my Facebook music page, Marrio Esco 1. Again, 2 R's in my name, the number 1 at the end, Marrio Esco 1. Be sure to like and follow that page, because I like to give updates on who I'll be interviewing and leave a description on what we'll be talking about. And I also like the real-time one-on-one back and forth interaction. If you don't have the time to join us on Facebook Live, be sure to check out my podcast. It's called Marrio Esco Live, 2 R's in my name. Again, you'll see the white silhouette of myself with the cross underneath. Be sure to subscribe to that and follow the link as well to whatever podcast you're using or however you're receiving the podcast, and leave us a review. We love to hear feedback. You can also hit me up at music@marrioesco.com and just hit me up with some feedback and ways that we can improve the show or the things that you like and enjoy. Any type of feedback will be highly appreciated. Grace and peace.